There he was, sitting on that table waiting for the doctor to come in. Jay was never all that comfortable when it came to seeing a doctor, and this was beyond no exception. After all, he had been forcibly brought here by his parents. Soon the door opens and in walks the doctor. He had the doctor's coat and headgear, along with a stethoscope around his neck, but he was actually the giant smiling purple dinosaur named Barney. His name tag read, Dr. Barney the Dinosaur, and standing alongside him was a little green dinosaur named Baby Bop, who was wearing a nurse cap.
Hello there, young man. What brings you in here today?
Jay was in a state of shock, but mustering up the courage he had, he spoke to Barney.
I was brought in by my mom and dad. They said that I looked rather sick and brought me here.
Aw, poor little guy. Well, not to worry. A bit of my treatment will make you feel all better.
Barney went over to a drawer and pulled out a pair of red sneakers.
First things first,
said Barney.
You need to put these on.
Jay took the sneakers and put them on, flexing his toes a bit to try and get a good feel.
Okay then, we are now ready to start the procedure.
Barney grabbed a gas mask which looked to be attached to a helium tank that Baby Bop was standing next to. He attached the mask to Jay's mouth and said,
Are you ready, pal? Here we go.
And then gave Baby Bop an okay sign. She started to turn on the nozzle, and the mask started to fill the boy full of air, inflating him, making him rounder. His arms and legs began to disappear beneath, leaving his head, hands, and feet sticking out. Soon the gas was turned off by Barney. He then went to Jay, removed the hose, and placed some kind of plug into his belly button.
Now don't open your mouth until I say so. We don't want you to deflate and have to start the process over.
Barney said to him, who nodded. Barney went into a cabinet searching for something. He then found what appeared to be a piece of yellow and green gum, but it looked all shiny and smooth.
Okay, now open wide a little bit.
Jay opened his mouth hoping it would make him deflate as Barney stuffed the gum into his mouth. The gum had a bit of a lemon flavor to it. Jay then began to chew the gum.
That's right, my boy. Chew on it a bit and then let's see you make that bubble.
He chewed the gum, and then after a while, when Barney placed his hand on his tummy, he knew it was time to blow a bubble. And so blow a bubble he did, and it kept on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Was this thing gonna pop at any point? It didn't seem so, for it was now as giant as himself.
Hey Baby Bop, a little help please.
Barney and Baby Bop got on the boy's sides and began to bring the bubble down on top of him. They then began molding the yellow and green substance all around his body as they molded it into the sneakers he still had on, until it all came to look like he was wearing a full yellow bodysuit.
Now that the substance has become a part of you, here comes the fun part. We're going to get you into your dinosaur shape. That way you will be made into a fine young protoceratops named BJ.
Jay should have been scared out of his wits, knowing full well that these colorful hugging lizards were taking his humanity away and making him into one of them. Barney got what appeared to be a large hollow mask shaped like a protoceratops's facial features, but only its long snout. Barney stuck Jay's face into the mask and began to push into it. After a while of molding, shaping and morphing, Barney pulled Jay's face out of the mask, revealing a long dinosaur snout just like BJ's snout. He then started tugging and pulling on his ears, shaping them into more protoceratops proportions.
Almost done. Now let's get some air into you, little guy.
Barney said cheerfully. Barney rolled in a tank that was labeled magic gas. The young dinosaur's eyes widened and he whimpered as he knew what magic gas is. Barney patted his head and told him,
Don't worry. I will be here, so don't you fret. Baby Bop?
Barney smiled and went over the nervous new dinosaur member. Barney opened Jay's mouth, pressed his lips against his, and began to blow, filling Jay with air. While this was going on, Baby Bop took the opportunity to start to fill up Jay with the magic gas. Pretty soon it was all done.
Oh, just one more thing.
Barney then tugged on the small of Jay's back just above his bottom, forming a dinosaur's tail.
And I believe this is yours, BJ?
Barney said, handing the yellow dinosaur a red cap, and he always felt happy wearing it. Jade the BJ dinosaur was led outside where an orange dinosaur named Riff was wearing a pair of green sneakers, and a red dinosaur named Loretta wearing a pair of hiking boots.
Here you go, pal. Your dino friends have been waiting so patiently.
The BJ dinosaur hobbled over. He was still rather woozy from being filled with air and looked at them both. Loretta wrapped her tail around Jay and brought him into a hug.
Hello, BJ, old pal. Did you have a nice time with Barney?
The BJ dinosaur nodded as he nuzzled into Loretta's hug.
I must say,
Said Riff.
Barney certainly fixed you up real good.
The BJ dinosaur smiled as he reached his tail over and hugged Riff. And so with the young dinosaur, Barney, and all of their friends happily marched into the sunset singing Barney songs together.